You are now tuned into TC Media, hosted by Taylor Chante, only on Station Head.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back to TC Media. This is the first show of the season, so you know we had to kick it off right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Barry Bondz live on air. Barry, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I'm great. How are you?
Listen, I'm great because you're here at TC Media Entertainment.
Yeah.
It's
Happy
been
New
a while.
Year.
Happy New Year. I know some great things coming on your end. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
I'm Barry Bondz. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, businessman out of I'm from Newark, New Jersey.
Let's go. Listen, Tri-State is in the building. We are in Jersey. I'm in Jersey as well.
Okay.
Shout out to the 973. So let's tap into
Right.
some of your music. What kind of music do you make?
I make motivational music. It's a form of trap music, soul mixed with soul, trap soul music.
So all your music tells a story, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm bringing it from the bottom on how to get out. You know, how to get where you got to go.
And speaking to get into where you have to go, tell us about some of your journey, because it always starts somewhere. You didn't start off as this big Barry Bondz. It started somewhere. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey into where you are now?
Oh man, I started off as a writer. My cousin was the artist. He was an artist. He actually turned into a producer, and I turned into an artist. So we kind of like switched. Yeah. But I started off in Newark, and then I was working in Long Island and Philadelphia writing for artists for years. And, you know, I just had the bug. I love to create, the creative process. You know, writing starts with a blank page and then you have something. So I love that.
And that's amazing to be able to tell your story and actually live through what you've been through music. To help it get out and motivate others. And I like that you said your music is motivational and it's not just a beat. Sometimes people just fall in love with the beat, and I'm glad you took it to that next level. We appreciate you for that. So I want to tap into fashion. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Barry Bondz is a fashionable man. Let me just tell you, if you haven't already, please check out his Instagram. Tell us more about your line. I want to get into that. I want to tap into that. And of course, we always support.
My line is called Jenko Apparel. That's one of the snapbacks on here. Jenko, the meaning to it, it means started with nothing, ended up with everything. It actually came from the Godfather movie. Jenko olive oil is where the Godfather worked when he was young man on the rise. That's where he started at. So that's what this means. You know, anybody building something from the ground up with an idea, and you know, with a big platform like you know, you build it from somewhere, right? You took it from somewhere. You had to start from somewhere. So, but yeah, it's an apparel line. It's more of it's more like the line like to a sports team. So you have snapbacks, hoodies, t-shirts, certain apparel. I have some more high-end apparel coming, but right now that's what it's based on. Cups, mugs, things of that nature, you know?
Okay, so you got it for everybody. Listen, this sounds like a one-stop shop. Listen, TC Media Entertainment is your one-stop shop for all of your entertainment needs.
Okay.
But listen, Barry Bondz, he has all your apparel needs and he has the music. We're gonna get on a quick commercial break, and we're gonna let some Barry Bondz play. Barry, how you feel about listening to your own music?
Oh, I do it. I'm in the mode. I've been listening to my Money Music EP. So that's what I've been playing. Higher Place, Diamond Chandeliers, motivation music.
And we are about to play Diamond Chandeliers right now, because that is my favorite song off the tape. And then I want to know more about that song when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. If you are just now tuning in, make sure you drop your Instagram names in the comment, because you never know who you're going to meet, greet, see, or hear here on Station Head, especially on TC Media. We do have Barry Bondz in the building. Shout out to you, Barry Bondz.
Yes,
and that was your song, Diamond Chandelier. And I was waiting to play that song. I ain't even gonna hold you. I really wanted to listen to that. Again, can you tell us more about this song, what it means, why you wrote this, how you came up with this?
Diamond Chandeliers, it's my way of saying sky's the limit. You know, the chandelier's up, diamonds, bright, your future's bright. That The Money Music EP is pandemic music. I created that during the pandemic. That was all stuff that was in my head. I actually recorded that during the pandemic. Going, when we had the lockdown.
Right. During the quarantine time.
I was locked in the house and I was creating it. I was going through a lot. And sometimes I would go out to go grocery shopping or something. I had the music in my head. My cousin had the studio and I would go by there and I would lay a record. That's like real live pandemic, going through stuff, music. I created it. I play it I motivate myself with it. I played that song yesterday about 40 times, just listening to what I was saying. To be in that space, I don't want to be in that space again, but
right.
To have the power to push yourself out of that. So many people were going through things. I lost my cousin to COVID in the heart of it. Everything was happening. So yeah, that's what Diamond Chandelier is. That's the meaning behind it. Those sky's the limit.
Wow. And sorry for your loss. Is there one specific bar in that song that really sticks out to you more than any other bar in that song?
It's not the rhyme. It's what I say in the beginning. Hold on, pull it up. I actually put it on my. It's kind of funny you played it. I put it on my Instagram yesterday. It's what I say in the beginning. No matter what they say, no matter what they tell you, life is good. King Beast to the best. You just gotta find your purpose and get to it. No matter what they say, you got to find your purpose to get to it. No matter what they say, life is good. That's something that I live by now. They say that every day, 250,000 people pass away and they sleep. And they say that 5 million people, 3 to 5 million people suffer from the loss of the people.
Right.
So they say when you wake up, in my studies, when you wake up, you smile, no matter what and be thankful. And you contact the 4 or 5 people that are closest to you, and those people are here, then you won.
And amen to that. And that's
so that's the Diamond Chandelier mentality. Every day above ground is another chance to win it all.
Listen, if you're blessed with those 24 hours, make something of it. Do your best to make something of it. What was that writing process like? I know we were in the middle of quarantine and you were going through something. Like everyone else, that was a really hard time. How did you make it out of quarantine in a different mindset?
Oh man, it just changed the way everything was moving. My creative process, I was playing that. I'm a morning person, so I get up early and I would just let the beats play. My cousin had sent me a beat pack, and at the time, life is funny. No matter who you were, how much money you had, or you didn't have, we were all the same at that moment. We were all stuck. And
it was like a sit still moment. Like everyone just sit still.
So it gave me time to reflect. I was reflecting. Constant elevation. I was reflecting, dealing with so much stuff. So those 5 songs, it was like a book to me. I was writing. It goes from money music. It ends with higher place. It's like going up. Like, how are we gonna make it out of here? We gotta focus.
And I noticed that you say a lot, like you started from the bottom and you're still building. And it starts somewhere. Do you have any piece of advice for a young entrepreneur or someone who may be into music, or an aspiring artist or producer or engineer? Is there any piece of advice about the bottom and about the progression that you would give them?
I would tell them to have tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is, don't look at what everybody else is doing, because you can get discouraged that way. That set me back a lot of years now, a lot of my earlier years. Looking to the right, looking to the left, seeing what this person doing. No, you have to focus on that. If you never give up and your energy is right and you trailblaze and you put the work in and you focus on what you're doing,
right.
For an artist, you might do a show in the beginning. You might have 5 people at the show. And you might see somebody else and they might have 200. You can't worry about their journey.
Right.
You got to turn that 5 into 10. You gotta turn that 10 into 15. You gotta turn that 15 into 30 people.
Right.
You gotta embrace those moments. Those moments are the ones most honest. It's not when you up, because you can't really trust that many people.
And that's real talk. That's facts. I mean, there's a lot of snakes out here.
Yeah.
And you really just have to watch your back and watch your front, watch your sides. And people, when we say this, we don't mean in a physical way. There's a lot of distractions out here. So as we speak about distractions, especially in the music industry and this entertainment industry, do you feel like social media is a distraction for any artist right now?
Yeah. That's part of the reason you're watching what's going on. You're watching everything that's going on. It's making you think a certain way. You know, on my Instagram today, I was deleting certain stuff. I'm not going to shoot the names out, like bad blogs, you know, like gossip. I was using that for my podcast. I would read certain things, but you know what we see, you know, we become. That's the information we're taking in. The stuff that we watch, that's what we become. So we have to be aware of that. So with Instagram, I'm a young artist. You know, I would lock into some of the bigger artists that I would like to emulate or be like, but I wouldn't focus on that. That was the one thing that derailed me, you know, just watching what other people were doing. That's a setback. And that's what Instagram does. You know, Instagram's a big TV show, you know, it's your own TV show. It's a sitcom, you know.
But at least
you never know what's going to come.
Choose what you want to see and what you don't see, and what you don't.
That's the luxury of it, but how you know, that takes a lot of responsibility to really edit what you're watching, right?
Definitely. You know? I definitely want to dig into some label talk. Are you signed or are you indie?
I'm currently indie at the moment. I have an announcement to make, but I can't do anything yet. I'm just stuck right now. I've been recording since last year. I've recorded a lot. So, you know, my manager has me just being prepared for our next move. You know,
listen,
your best move. So
we love that so much. So whatever the big news is, just know TC Media, we're gonna be on it. You know.
Hey, let me come back and break it. I'll come back and break it. Like I said, we from the ground.
At TC Media Entertainment.
Yeah, from the ground, you know what I mean? We'll break it. I'm down with that. I'm down all for the come up, you know.
Listen,
but I gotta hold that one in right now. Right now, I'm just like today, I'm editing records for the next announcement and next project I have. You know, I've recorded. I got like 50 records just done, ready to go. So I'm just going back and fixing them up.
How important is it to you to have, you know, records just sitting around and waiting to be released? Is that important for an artist to have?
That is new to me. Being an independent, most of my career was independent. I started off with a small label situation. Then I went independent. In the beginning, I wasn't like that. Like I would record and just fire off. This last run with my manager, you know, you can learn from anybody. I took my time this time and created the music that I wanted to create, not just what was in front of me.
Right.
And with that, like I said, you got to like kind of turn off the Instagram, because you know, as I'm creating, I'm seeing people dropping and they doing this and they doing that, and that can mess with your mind, your creative process.
I believe it.
You know, if you could have like for instance, I started a podcast with two of my partners, and it's called Smoke Talk Podcast. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Barry Bondz. Starting off new, you know, I never done that before. So I had to have them and myself work on tunnel vision, not worried about what the next podcast is doing, because we were new to it. That's very hard in the beginning, being, you know, coming up like that. But this time the creative process was different.
We have to touch in with that podcast talk. We love a good podcast here at Media.
Smoke Talk Podcast. We smoke cigars on there, and we talk a lot of smack. You know, we up there having fun, man.
All right, we're gonna get right into a music break, and then shortly after that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn more about this podcast before, unfortunately, we have to let Mr. Barry Bondz get back to his life. Gentlemen, you heard that commercial. It's TC Media, features and vibes. That's what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just tuning in, we do have Barry Bondz in the building. And we just heard presidential voices. Listen, yes. We were just speaking over our break about how important the lyrics are in all his music. And we went through the whole music segment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make sure we tap back in and listen to this. Now it's time for us to talk about this podcast. Because cigars and talk?
Smoke Talk podcast. Cigars, cognac, a lot of talk. All right, we sponsored Villion Cognac on our show. I'm in my office right now. We stay on my desk. But
that's a
nice. I don't go anywhere. Then I'm drinking. I ain't going nowhere, and I'm drinking. But Villion Cognac on our show. We have the cigars. We got humidors. This is what we do. We're in there. We have the cigars. We light up. We talk. It's an awesome experience. We talk about sports. It's a sports and entertainment.
So it's like a virtual man cave.
Yeah, that's exactly that was good. I got to use that was perfect. It's definitely that. We just finished the first season. The second season starts next week. First season was 23 episodes with a couple part two, so about 25 episodes. Mm-hmm. It was a great experience. It was a thought. We put it together. Shout out to Game Beats, Pappy Black, and my man Goldie, TMC Goldie. We do our podcast. It's awesome. My man Ray Large Pockets was part of it. We had a great time. It was great.
So I have a question about your podcast.
I think we're going to get you on our podcast.
I was about
that. About that.
Man cave, but
yeah, we're gonna lock you in on a meeting, but you gotta have like a drink or something. You gotta have like a drink with you or something.
Yeah, I'll come with a drink. I'm not really about that cigar life.
Yeah.
Listen,
We're gonna get you on there though to get a woman's perspective. Yeah.
Definitely. As long as sports is not the only topic, because listen, only sport I know, I was a cheerleader for 2 days. And I got straight into the music.
That's right.
I don't really know about sports, but
my podcast is a major part of the Genco Empire. Off of that, I'm part of another thing people don't know about me. I'm part of a Black investment group, Marathon Capital. I'm a broker liaison for that. So I trade stocks for the investment group. It's about 19 of us now. One of my partners put it together, genius, some young Black entrepreneurs, executives put it together, and it's an amazing thing. We're teaching finance, learning finance. It's amazing. So that's something else I'm adding to my resume.
Listen, that's an extensive resume. And I love that as an entrepreneur and as an artist, you have more than one means to income and you have more than one means to create. That is very, very, very important. And I try and stress that all the time. Just because you're into music, learn finances, get into marketing, get into accounting. Because on your way up in your music process, in your journey, there are going to be times where you have to make sure your numbers are right. You have to double check budgets. It's very, very important that you have, an extensive resume to back that up with.
Hey, have good people around you. Shout out to my brother Kevin, aka Goldie, TMC Goldie. He brought me on, taught me how to trade stocks, taught me about the stock market and everything. So I shout out gotta have good people around you.
Listen,
that can decide everything on where you're going and how high you're going and what's going on. So big shout out to him and the whole Marathon Capital and the Smoke Talk podcast and my partners up there. Going to the next level. It's
and can you just tell us your YouTube channel one more time?
You can go on youtube.com/Barry Bondz or youtube.com/BondzWorld. Either one it comes to the channel. And Smoke Talker is gonna have its own channel. I started off on my channel, but it has its own legs now. So put it on its own channel. That's a blessing.
That's progression. Before we get into my favorite part of the show, which is pass or play, is there anything you need for us to know, want us to check out or be aware of?
Well, definitely, you can go and check out a lot of my music on my catalog, Apple Music, Spotify, I'm everywhere, YouTube, Vivo, everywhere. My podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. JenkoApparel.com, you can check out the apparel. If you see the snapback with the bull, that's our logo. We're only moving forward.
Jenko, I'm looking at it, y'all, and it's all right.
Yeah, definitely. And be on the lookout. Oh, you go on my Audio Mac, fourth quarter. I have an Audio Mac player. Fourth quarter, I dropped like a freestyle every week for like the last month or two, just to heating myself up. But now I gotta wait till everything is settled before we make our announcement and put the new music out. So I got some new freestyles on there I was releasing, just something to build up my family. I call my fan base my family. So something for the family.
Listen.
You know, something that's the newest music I put out on there besides Money. Money Music was I released Money Music and this song called Defense that's doing really well. Featuring DJ J Hood and partner New Era.
And shout out to J Hood, man. I mean,
yeah. Big shout out to J Hood. He's on he produced that record and he's on the record as far as New Era too.
So I have a question for you before we get into pass or play. How do you feel about females in the music industry?
How do I feel about them?
Yes.
I think they're taking over. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. Long as they, I just want, long as they hold it down, they leading with respect. That's awesome, man. Just giving us diversity. They're the ones holding it down right now. They're like major right now.
We love it. So Barry, this is my Barry Bondz. We appreciate you for coming through. Please shout out your team, shout out your people, and let them know what you were just tuned into.
Oh man. Well, I want to shout out the whole Jenko team. Jenko. I want to shout out Game Beats, Pappy Black, New Era, Aviator Cross, Aviator Music, my partner Carlos, Killer Concepts, my PR Brandon Robinson, my manager Fresh, my management the team Crystal Roots, everybody that's aligned with me, the Smoke Talk podcast, Marathon Capital, TMC Goldie, partner Bilo, everybody. I have a deep team, good brothers.
Listen, and you have a bunch of positive people around you. Never forget TC Media Entertainment is here for you.
TC Media Entertainment, big shout out to them for the interview. And I'm gonna come back when I get my announcement. We're gonna take it from here, from the ground,
Listen, you coming back, you have no choice. But again, we appreciate
we'll come back when the ink is dry.
Stay creative, stay grinding, tunnel vision. You got this, and we are so proud of you. If there's any,
I appreciate it, man. Look out! I got a bunch of stuff coming. I mean, literally, my whiteboard is filled up right here with music. I got a bunch of music coming, videos coming. Like I said, be on the lookout for the podcast. My new album. I have a few EPs dropping this year. I think about 3. An album dropping this year, podcast, Marathon Capital, you name it, man. My team, I got our artist dropping, artist Pappy Black, he's dropping in January, I think 14th. Aviator Cross is dropping, New Era is dropping. Shout out to my producers. I want to shout out to my producers. I can't leave them out. My producer, Acid, 808, Game Beats, Slim Instrumentals, and DJ Doughboy. I have a solid team. My videographer Ted. Anybody I forgot, man? It's a long day.
Don't worry, he's coming back and he won't forget you next time.
Coming back, but I appreciate everybody. Newark, New Jersey, holding me down. Brick City, hold me down.
Of course. I mean, and shout out to Jersey, man. It's the
Jersey, man. Jersey, I can't forget that. Jersey 2-5. That's where I'm from 2-5. That's it, man.
And speaking of Jersey, we're gonna get into some LBL as we exit the show.
Oh man. Oh, free LBL, man.
Free
LBL, man. Jersey, man. Free LBL. Free LBL.
All right, now
whoever got something dropping, we got a lot of stuff dropping, man. So I appreciate it. I'm coming back, and we're gonna get you on the podcast.
Definitely.